Hi guys, how are you? So you're gonna have to bear with me because I did not get the chance to do a sound check, and we are sitting outside of baseball practice right now, and it's raining. So um, I need you guys to let me know how the audio is. Am I echoing? Can you hear me? Is the rain too loud? All of that fun stuff. So if you could put a one in the chat, or even just say, "Hey, you're good." Hi, Dandelion. How are you? Hi, Seal. Seal, I wish you would have taken the link so that we could check this. Hi, B10. Okay, you can hear me. Great audio. Okay, thank you so much, Dink. How are you guys? Good to see you guys. So we're like literally outside of the school, just chilling, and it started downpouring, so they had to take practice inside. So I was like, well, I might as well just come live and kind of talk about all of the things since I can't watch the baseball game. 49 months. Is that how long we've had members? Look, I don't even know. Can I do this? I can do this from my phone. That's crazy. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm still with the phone stuff. It's not something that I normally do. So this is going to be kind of rocky as far as all of that jazz goes. And I'm not sure too how quickly this is going to kill my battery. So this might be a shorter live stream. We'll have to play it by ear and see kind of what happens. I also can't drop the link in my Discord. I totally forgot to do that. If somebody could drop the link in my Discord, that would be awesome. Probably should have did that before I hit the go live button, but I didn't. So that would be great though. If one of you guys could do that for me, I would appreciate it. Hi, Hope in Jesus. Good to see you. So I kind of wanted to come live and talk about the elephant in the room that's absolutely everywhere, kind of all of the different stuff that has happened in the true crime community within the past week that came to light. Hi, Angel Forever. And, I've been in some of the chats. I was over in Queen Bee's chat, kind of saying, I wasn't shocked, even in the least. I was not shocked. And I apparently am one of the only people who wasn't shocked, which, that's a whole nother thing. I guess, I don't know. I seem to have like a sixth sense about people. And I'm not typically wrong, unfortunately. I wish I was wrong. Hi, Sarah Hart. How are you? But so anyway, so Arctic Fox true crime within the past week has been exposed as a potential. I don't even know. Do we say potential at this point? He was talking to a decoy that was that was representing a 14-year-old boy, I should say, representing a 14-year-old boy. So he wasn't actually speaking to a 14-year-old boy. Thank God that it turned out that it was a decoy, but in my opinion, probably not the first person that he's talked to that was underage. And it's infuriating. It's just honestly infuriating. But he was talking to this child. I'm not going to go into, the person who was representing the child. He wasn't actually talking to a child. He was talking to the person he believed was a 14-year-old boy and was saying extremely disgusting, crude, disgusting things. And talking to him about all of it in a sexual nature, talking to him about potential sex acts he could do on himself, sending him porno links, and all of the things, right? A lot of you guys know that Arctic Fox kind of came into this community through my channel. He had started following me whenever I first started covering true crime, and I was in the mission kind of to share as many cases as possible. There was a group of 3 or 4 of us that were just sharing cases constantly, different cases every day, different cases multiple times a day, a lot of information. I kind of stepped back from that myself as far as too many cases in one day or in 1 week, just because of the mental strain that it was taking on me, especially whenever a lot of the cases were being found to be deceased and things of that nature, and just some of the horrific crimes that these kids go through. And so I kind of stepped back from doing that, and Arctic was like, well, I'm going to start sharing flyers. And it was a conversation that was had about how every missing kid should have a flyer on YouTube. Because sometimes whenever you go into Google search bar and you type a missing child's name, nothing pops up. No flyer, no video, no information. And it's disturbing, the amount of people, and it still is. This is still something that needs to be done by somebody. So somebody pick up this torch, because it needs done. Every child out there deserves to have the same amount of awareness. Every child out there needs to have, I don't know who y'all know is. Who is y'all know? Hold on. Can I put up a thing? I can. Let's see. What kind of overlay do I have? Let me do this. Okay. I'm going to add you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear you, honestly, but somebody still needs to share missing posters. And that's a whole nother conversation, right? Hopefully somebody picks up this and they start sharing flyers and start getting that information out there. But regardless, so that's how he started making videos and putting those videos out there. Shortly after he started creating videos on YouTube, he started doing some live streams here and there. And one of the very first live streams that he did was about the case of Summer Wells. And in that live stream, he said very crude and disgusting things that he pictured Dawn Wells was doing to Summer Wells in the shower and in the bed and in different locations throughout the house, and all of the things that he thought Summer Wells likely went through at the hands of Dawn Wells. And while he was saying that, it was just very disturbing details to say about a child, especially a child the age that she was. And it was almost like he was getting joy out of talking about these sick, disgusting things that he was saying. And immediately huge red flags went up. And I cut all ties with him. Actually, I'll be frank, was paneling with me a lot back then. And at that point, he had also cut ties with him. I know that they kind of rekindled their relationship probably within the last year, I would say. But even he had cut ties. We ran background checks at that point on Arctic Fox because we had suspected that he could potentially be a predator in the community. And I did not want to be anywhere where he was. I completely walked away from him at that point because to me, huge red flags went off that there was something wrong. There was something very, very wrong with him in the way that he was saying things. And so that's how I walked away from Arctic. It wasn't too long after that Moms for Missing, aka Darkness Exposed, who many of you guys probably don't even remember, but her name was Jo Clausen. She came to this community and she joined a lot of moms together, and she was trying to get, a platform for missing people and things like that. But behind the scenes, we found out her identity, and we found out that she was a grifter. She had lied for multiple GoFundMe scams, and she had, taken advantage of the communities. And it was a mess. And so I cut ties with Jo once we found out that she was a scamming monster. And Arctic took her side. And I was like, that's another because if I didn't have enough against you because of the disgusting stuff that you said about Summer Wells, that was you. Okay, well, I can add you back. Come back, Sale. You can come up and talk with me. It's like really awkward because I got people sitting next to me, so I'm like kind of staring at the cars in the distance too. But anyway, so he had taken up for Moms for the Missing at that point as well, aka Darkness Exposed, and all of the grifty, slimy, nasty stuff that she was doing in Quentin Simon's case and in other cases. And it was at that point that I blocked him on absolutely every platform because I had a bad feeling about him, and then him taking up for a criminal made that feeling even worse. And I made sure that everybody that I was associated with at the time was aware of kind of the things that had taken place in the background. Fast forward a little bit longer, a couple months down the road, Jim Terry came to this platform. And Jim Terry, the slime ball that he was, many of you guys know that that's kind of how Queen Bee got started with her channel really growing. She had a channel before that, but she is basically known for the one who basically took down Jim Terry, who was a private investigator. Used loosely, he paid $25 for his private investigator license, but she basically got him off of YouTube and many other platforms. But one of the things that he did while he was on this platform was he offered $500 for my name and my location and paid for my docs. And well, he didn't actually pay. From what I understand, they never got the money. But Arctic Fox True Crime and Darkness Exposed are the ones who sold him my information, which there's a really long roundabout reason for why they even had my information. But so anyways, he has showed himself to be slime over and over and over again. But I'm going to be honest, I thought that he was going to be the same type of slime that is all over this platform. Guys, there are so many criminals sitting amongst you every single day. There are so many channels that have so much wrong with their creators. And don't get me wrong, there are people who can start over, they can make a new life, they can go a new path. There are people, I truly do believe that you can be redeemed from most things. But one thing that you can't be redeemed from is crimes against children. There is no fixing that. There is no fixing that. And so I'm disgusted, but I'm not shocked. Not even in the least. It's almost like I expected something like this to happen and to come out. And Seal, I don't know if you want to come up here, but she has been digging on Arctic and through all of his profiles and through every connected email and every connected known association and things like that, because we're trying to see, could he have been targeting kids from the platform that he has gotten here? I think about a couple of the different cases that we have covered where he was, in contact directly with the families, in contact directly with the teenagers after they were found. And it's disturbing to think that he was knowingly talking to somebody that he thought was 14 years old, and how many vulnerable 14 and 15 and 16-year-old boys that he had been covering. And I don't know. It's scary to think about. But one of the things that came up was, his ex. Yeah, leave our children alone. Leave our children alone. He can never come back from this. And he still has an active profile, a podcast on, what was it called, Seal? Blue Sky? Blue Sky, I think it was. I didn't even know there was a podcast site called Blue Sky, but he still has an active podcast over there. It doesn't look like he has posted a video, but he didn't take it down. He paused most of his social media. He paused it, but he certainly reactivated his Facebook. Now it's back up. The group is back up. They've shut off comments so that people can't, comment and leave comments and things like that. But it's back up. So, okay. So Seal, I want you to talk because number one, I need to see if I can hear you. But number two, I need to see if I echo whenever you talk.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
So did
whenever Seal is talking, do you guys hear that through my phone also, like an echo? Hi, Roberta. Say something again.
Hey. Testing. Numbskull testing.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us? Sounds great. Okay. Thank you so much, Ringo. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about all of this, Seal? I know you were around, number one, whenever Arctic came to the community and kind of, started his channel and all that stuff. I know you actually seen the Summer Wells video. Did you not?
I did. It's been a while back. I've seen so many videos, but I did. It's a little cringy. I do not want to be Well, I guess it really matters at this point. I was gonna say, I don't wanna be targeted by any of his
Right.
people or whatever, but, I just think, first off, I had no clue he was 50. Um, I
Right.
just I thought he was a lot younger than that, and
Yeah.
I know that he's done a lot for the community as far as putting out posters and everything, but I really I don't know, I feel so disgusted. I don't know how to explain it, just
Hmm.
real disgusted with the whole thing. I mean, I don't know, not everything is black and white for me, and I hate that.
Right.
But, there's a lot of gray in between. Um, but I don't know, I just think that he's, mm, I don't know what I should say. I don't think I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I don't
Just
think I
say it.
should say
Just
what I
say it.
wanna
Honestly,
just say. I just think that he's
there's only a
always
handful
like,
of us in here, number one, but
I
yeah.
I know, but it'll get out. I mean, it comes out. But
Yeah.
I just think he's always been attracted to younger people, young boys.
Yeah. So one of the things that you had kind of looked at was, his ex, and his ex is a very younger guy. And I'm not going to put out his name. I'm not going to show his pictures or anything like that. But
No,
he is a
don't.
very younger guy. And he also was young whenever they met. Um, like, I believe, wasn't it stated that they were dating for 10 years or something along those lines? And then
He d
age wise, that would put him at 16 or 17 years old, right? Whenever they met.
Yeah, that's what he stated. He
Okay.
stated that. Uh,
Arctic
so
stated that.
yeah, that they had dated 10 years before they got married,
Married.
and the guy wasn't very old when they got married. So,
Hmm.
I mean, he
It's
was
just
like
sad. Because then you start
maybe.
wondering, like, okay, so was that guy groomed too? This probably is like ruining his whole mindset in life. I'm sure. This has got to be troubling for people who are surrounded by him. Could you imagine if like his neighbors found out things like that? You know what I mean? You never want to find out that the guy next door, the guy that you used to date, the guy you were married to, you never want to find out that that guy's a predator. And so I don't want to like target, his ex or anything like that, but it's just troubling to see the pattern of much, much younger men that he has encountered and or dated. And he definitely has a type. And so that, I don't know. It just scares me. It just scares me for the potential for how many other kids he may have talked to online. And I really hope that they do an investigation. I really hope that the police like are able to serve a warrant at least and look at his computer and stuff. I know a lot of people are worried that the predator hunter guys might have done it wrong, especially with how they did it. But I'm going to say something. With the amount of time that these criminals actually serve behind bars for literal rape of a child. Sorry, I shouldn't say that word. See, this is why my YouTube channel keeps getting nerfed because I always use the words, but the literal R word that kids have gone through. And then you see these monsters get like a slap on the wrist or, probation or the lightest type of punishment that you can imagine. Some of them even are able to make plea bargains to not have to go on the registry. And it's just frustrating because it's like, why is that a thing? Why is that even an option? And so being the state that he is in and the lax laws that are there, and everywhere, really. It's not just that state, but everywhere they don't prosecute people for these crimes harshly enough. Whether it's a decoy or not, like this should land him in prison. This should land him on the registry and things like that. But it wouldn't. It won't. And that's what's frustrating. But at least it exposes him to the community, his 17,000 followers, all of the people that he had on Facebook. It exposes him so that the Aware Foundation and different people like that know not to trust or use him anymore and limits his ability to target children in this community, hopefully again. Now, I have saved links of his from multiple platforms so that whenever he pops his head back up, I can see it. Because these type of people always come back. He will be back, especially if they just do a slap on the wrist. And undoubtedly, there will always be a few subscribers that are like, I never believed that about you. I knew it couldn't be true. I couldn't believe the way they treated you. You know what I mean? There's always those people that side with the villain, and I don't get it.
You know, I think here's my thing about these people, these type of people. They are never rehabilitated. I do not care what people say. You can't go into some rehabilitation and be it is something in their brain. They cannot be rehabilitated. They
Right.
have to have, I just made a post on my Facebook last night because I read something else that was just really disgusting. It's happening so much more, and it just pisses me off so bad. It's like the slap on the wrist. Okay, they send them to jail for a few years. My God, they're going to come right back out and do the very same thing. They're just going to
Yeah.
get better at it. They need a
Yeah.
whole separate facility where they can go for life.
Right.
That's just, you can't.
We just need to take an island and just drop them all there.
Exactly.
I mean, if we're not gonna unalive these people that are hurting our kids, then we just need to remove them from society, and they can all live on an island together and figure out how to survive Survivor style. Like, I'm tired of freaking paying for their jails and paying for their food and their whatever so that they can come back out and keep hurting kids over and over and over and over and over again. Like, okay, you guys don't want to, unalive them, then put them somewhere that they can't hurt nobody but each other. Let them sit there and R-word each other. Like, leave the kids alone.
Because of social media now, it's gotten so much better. So everyone is exposed now. That's just the thing. And law enforcement is not keeping up. They're not keeping up. So you have a bunch of stressed out parents and grandparents who are constantly looking over their shoulder at everybody.
I think
everybody.
I think the problem is, though, there's not enough stressed out parents and grandparents. Like, I think that a lot of parents just kind of trust parental settings, and they just kind of trust the apps are going to protect their kids and stuff like that. And that's how guys like Arctic are able to target these kids, because the parents think, oh, well, my kid's going to be fine in, whatever game it was that we got screenshots of him playing. They think that their kids are going to be just fine there. And it's like, are they though? Because you don't really know who's behind the avatar that you're talking to. And that's why I really think that, honestly, here we have a predator hunter group called 814 Predator Hunters. They work directly with the police. They actually got training from the police to be able to target these guys. And so now they get these guys constantly in our area, and it's disturbing. But now the police are actually able to press charges. They're actually able to follow through and give them jail time and stuff like that. But we're talking 2 years, 3 years that they serve in jail, and then they're back out on the streets, and it's horrible. And BC said two different things. So she said the problem is that there will always be new people. One thing, there will always be new people. So if he waits 6 months for this to blow over, and then pops up with a voice changer, changes his name, something along those lines, he's going to come back with 17,000 subscribers still, come back into the community, and he'll get new followers because YouTube is still going to recommend him because his subscriber count is higher. They're still going to recommend him, and he'll get new people who will have no clue that this ever happened. And so it's so important that whenever he comes back, because he will be back, whenever he comes back, that everybody nails him again. The same people that are calling him out now remind the community over and over and over again that this is who he really is. And that's what we had to do with Dirty Joe. You know what I mean? That's what we had to do with Jim Terry. That's what we had to do with Dirty Joe. You just have to keep hammering until they are not able to keep resurfacing. And you would think once this was discovered that people would be able to report his channel to YouTube, and YouTube, to protect people, would like take him down? Nah, they're not going to. You know what they did? Instead, they struck multiple channels that talked about him for talking about it, for showing the content. Multiple people got struck. Multiple people got their stuff removed. And it's disturbing. And then, so the other thing BC said was the apps are popping up faster than parents can keep up with, and the hidden app parts. Yeah, they add hidden app parts, and you're right. So Trivia Crack is an example of this. They never had a chat room thing whenever I played it. And my son was playing it, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, you can play Trivia Crack. Like, Trivia Crack, you literally sit there and answer, trivia questions. Like, what harm can that be? They have an Instagram style social media site on there now. I had no clue. And so it's like these predators, and I honestly believe that it's these app developers like work with these predators in the background. Like, oh yeah, sure, we can add this so that you can target children. And oh yeah, sure, you can add that. Like, how many missing teens that we have right now are at the home of a much older person that they met on one of these gaming sites? They ran away willingly to go be with these people, and then they may or may not continue to be there willingly. How many cases do we have out there that, like Winter, that we just recently covered, where she wasn't able to just leave? So,
Oh, that poor girl.
I don't know.
Everyone. And you know what? There was so much. She was being blamed for so much. And that's another thing that, you got a mindset of certain people who thinks that 12 and 13 know exactly what they're doing. No, they don't. They really don't. They just kind of, they get in there and they get scared, and then, like, oh, how did I get here? Or I'm going to try it out. But their mind, their little brain they're not set up for that yet.
Right.
And for people to blame the children for things that happen to them, I think that's just sickening too.
See, Words with Friends. I had no clue that Words with Friends, they have a chat on there now. Like, what? Why? I don't
pretty
know.
much now has a chat. You can link in, but I don't know. I think that they should make the internet off limits for kids under 18. Period.
They never will, though. They never will.
They won't.
Think of how many schools went completely virtual. I mean, even whenever we had like 18 inches of snow here, the schools have tablets that the kids took home that week, and they just did virtual learning all week. So whether you want the internet in your house or not, well, now your kid has to be able to go to school virtually, and here's the device to do it. And oh, by the way, they're going to find out that they can go to like bananapeeljacket.com and go around the parental controls on the school devices. That's what it was whenever I was a teen. I don't know what it is now, but I'm sure they have it. If they had it back whenever I was a teen to get around the school computers, I'm sure they have it on all those devices. It's always a different thing. Yeah, I'm glad she had the ability to come home too. It's just disturbing. It's just really freaking disturbing. And I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Like, there's no way to fix it other than to constantly, like, I don't know, monitor your kids. Look at everything always. And you're still going to miss stuff. Don't beat yourself up if you miss it. You know what I mean? But I feel like we almost need like 1,000 more of these predator hunter groups, because even if they're not getting arrested, at least they're getting exposed so people know who the heck they are. You know? Yeah.
We have a couple here that do, and things have just been, and people have been getting arrested. Guys, mostly guys have been getting arrested, and it's like daily. It is daily, and it's horrible to see, because it didn't used to be that way down here. Right. We were pretty laid back, quiet little area, and now it's just everywhere. And them having the pictures and the photos, that is so disgusting to me.
What do you mean? The AI stuff?
No, of the having on their computers and everything of children. That's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, what in their brain makes them think that is even normal or okay.
Right.
They're just, like I said, they just don't belong. I'm sorry. They just don't belong. And I don't know, the internet has become such a monster. Facebook is such a monster. I don't know if Zucky knew what he was creating when he started. It can be good or bad, but it's just these creeps will find any platform,
It
use
brings
any
it's
code
like a double.
word. Yeah, they'll use anything, any codes, any
It's
groups,
a double-edged
anything.
sword because it does bring people together for good things too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Though it does have good things. Like look at all the kids who were found, based off of getting their information seen on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
I mean, there it is.
look at all the ones that are
It's
hurt.
good and
Look
bad.
at all the people who are connected as friends and as family through social media. But then look how many people it hurts. It's a two-edged sword. It's just about the people who are using it, the quality of their souls. I swear, it's because unfortunately evil is always going to exist, always. And so does the light outweigh the darkness? Speaking of darkness, it's getting very dark in my car.
I was reading a comment.
Which one?
About your channel. Need a bigger audience to level up.
Oh yeah. I put Kick on there too, but I forgot to put it like no comments or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's got like these bots in the background. I'm going to go ahead and start firing up the other sites whenever I stream. I'll just do it, B Tim was telling me some stuff about Kick, like whatever, BC said she's worried about them learning from it, about them learning from what, getting caught. Here's the thing. He knew all the right answers. He was like, oh, this is entrapment. This is this is that. And it's like, how much have you researched this, sir? How much have you researched? What can I say once I'm caught?
He's 50. So
right.
Probably a lot.
Is that better? I'm just like turning on some lights. It's getting dark. At least we got an extra hour of daylight. But
I didn't even know blue sky was a thing.
Neither did I till you sent me that. I'm like, what? I've been sending B Tim everything. I'm like, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. Just in case, Queen wants to cover it or he wants to talk about it. Like, just sending all the things. Whoops.
I mean, there's just so many platforms. I just don't want to have to join every single one of them when I'm researching.
Yeah.
I'm going to look creepy myself, so.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's just so much going on. It's just, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's just really frustrating. And I don't.
Just where do you start? Where do you begin?
Right.
And they say, "Oh, go to your legislature." Well, that's a lot of red tape to do that.
Let's not even get on the red legislators. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in the legislators side of things. What is it, like 17 million they paid out this past year?
Yeah.
In sex crimes, or sex crime settlement suits or whatever. Like, seriously, is there any good people still in our government? Is there any? And that's exactly why these people get a slap on the wrist, because how many judges that sit and look at these cases, how many of these judges have the same type of content, the same type of conversations going on, the same type of, it's disgusting to think about. It's terrifying.
Well, yeah. So I know of one, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of the female judge that was dismissed from Aaron Spencer's case because she let the guy that had his daughter, she kept letting him out, bond out of jail.
Mm-hmm. What about, there was one recently where the guy was arrested and the judge let him go. And it turned out that the judge and him were in a sexual relationship. Do you remember that one? Like it turned out
Uh-oh.
that the guy was also involved with CP and they were having a relationship behind the
Did the
scenes.
judge get killed?
No, but he
No,
did get
okay,
in
that was a
trouble.
different one. Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't seen that. I guess I haven't seen that one. There's been so many, I don't know.
I'm going to turn off my camera because my battery is dying fast. Sorry. I wasn't sure how long it would be able to go live and use StreamYard rather than use YouTube to be able to stream it so that way I could have people join me. And we've lost about 30% battery already. So
I think that you should do these lives for people, for us to come on, for us and others to come on and talk about what we can, how we can truly advocate, what we can actually do that would get these people off the internet and off the streets. I mean,
I
it's
don't
got to
know though.
begin. I know, but it's got to begin somewhere. Someone's ideas.
I mean, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but really it comes down to like the actual laws need to change. Like we need people.
Alabama's doing great, changing their
Yeah.
law about predators. They really are.
So is Florida.
Oh.
And I think I've seen Tennessee changed a few recently too. Like they are starting to, but is it too little too late? I don't know.
Well,
I don't
Alabama's
know.
got the death penalty now. So, I mean,
That's good.
I got little ears listening to me, so I can't at this minute, so I
Yeah.
can't say what. But
No,
yeah,
I know. That's been
they
my
got-
problem too lately for going live about certain stuff. Like some of these cases are hard. And even though I have Crisp and stuff like that to block out the sound, even though I'm in my office, yet my house is not that big. And so whenever I'm talking about it, and sometimes Junior will come up to me after the stream's over or whatever, if they happen to be awake, and she's like, "Is that little girl ever going to be found? Are they going to
Aw.
hurt that little girl?" Like, and then she'll be praying for her and stuff like that. Like, and it just, I don't want to put all this anxiety in her brain. You know what I mean? So then I try to wait until after they go to sleep. So that's a whole thing because then, you know, hubby wants to sleep and he doesn't want to listen to me talk about YouTube stuff, you know? So it's just been a whole battle lately. But I figure if I can go live from my car, if this is something that can happen while we're waning outside of baseball practice 43 days a
You're doing
week,
good
it
so
seems
far.
like.
Well, it sounds pretty good. You've only roboted like 1 or 2 times, and it wasn't very much.
That's
So.
good. Yours ask if Summer has been found yet. That's so sad.
No, that's just sad. It really is. I mean, that's a whole nother, that case just, wow, it just got really wild and crazy. So did Sebastian's, like those cases have just gotten so bizarre because so many people giving false information. That poor woman, the poor 84-year, what's her name? Guthrie. I mean, that
Nancy
got
Guthrie.
wild
Mhm.
and bizarre too. I mean, it's
And I
never
don't think
easy.
they're ever going to find her.
Nah.
I don't think she was kidnapped. I'm just going to say that. I don't think she was kidnapped. I mean, maybe, but I think she was kidnapped likely by somebody who was connected with her family. You know what I mean? Not some random person looking for ransom money. Otherwise, they offered to pay it. Like, and where is she? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
You
how
know
much
what's
could it really
sad?
have
Can
to
you
do with
just-
ransom money?
Can you imagine living 84 years of your life? Fairly good, you know, a good life. Nothing major happening, and that be the end.
Right.
That would just, you know, I would probably tell them, just go ahead and do what you got to do. Just kill me, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I said the K word.
That's what I mean. Like I'm gonna never, I don't know, this new AI system that's watching out for YouTube, like I don't know. That's what B Tim was telling me. Like I need to get off of YouTube and try other platforms if I'm gonna insist on using the real words. I can't help it though. I know Stacy's going to trial. I have been wanting to watch these videos from the pretrial stuff, and we just have not had a chance. I was talking to Seal about that the other day about wanting to go live and kind of watch like the phone calls and stuff like that came out. But I can't wait for him to be tried. But I'm still so frustrated that they don't have the other two in jail. 2, 3. I don't know if Adrian, how much he had to do with it, but Brandon and Sarah ought to be in there with him. Huh?
Yeah. I think I think that they will get arrested. It's just a matter of time. I believe they want to get him and eerily, he looks like someone we've been talking about. If you think about it, Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
they look alike.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy too.
There's like people driving real slow past me. I'm waiting for the security guard to come out and be like, "What you doing?" Normally I go like, and I'll walk around the track or do whatever, like while I'm sitting here waiting, but I'm like the only mom that stayed this week, apparently. Today, I guess I should say. Yesterday, he's like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me," because I was the only one. They were trying out for their actual positions for where they're going to play on the field. And I was the only one that like was standing at the end of the field kind of watching practice. He was like, "You got to stop." He's like, "You can't be the only mommy. I can't be the only kid with my mommy here." I'm like, "Yeah, but I wanted to see how you did." So like I did start walking around after he called me out for standing there watching him. So I started walking in a circle while I watched it. Like, but I want to see how you do. I want to know, like, where are they going to put you on the field?
My niece is like that. she is such a boy mom and such a baseball mom. I mean,
Yeah.
she is like in it 150%. She yells the loudest at the games. She's at every practice. She yells at the practice.
Yeah.
It's like she is that mom. So she loves it.
He got frustrated yesterday though. Coach was hitting the balls and like he was doing grounders to see, you got to run and pick up the grounder and then throw it to first, basically like shortstop tryouts or whatever. And every other person, he probably hit it like midway between first and second. And Tristan's, he hit all the way to almost first base. And like, because he knows he's the fastest kid on the team, basically, like every time they race, he wins. And so then he's just standing there yelling at him. He's like, "Work, work, 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 work." And he got it. He got the ball and was able to like volley it up to first base, the first base guy. But it was just funny. He's like, "I hate that. He always like makes me have to go so much further and everything's so much harder." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That means that he like is pushing you to continue to get better, not just kind of letting you be, mediocre. Because if you only practice what you can already do, you're never going to grow." So, but it's just funny. Hi, Butterfly Kisses. How are you?
I haven't seen her in a while.
It's hard to watch and not cheer. I agree. I try not to embarrass him as much. I try not to embarrass him like completely and totally. I will yell some stuff like occasionally whenever he's batting, I'll be like, "Tristan, you have to swing the ball. Like you have to do whatever, and I'll tell him about himself that way. But I don't go crazy, but I do invite my mom to the game. And she goes crazy enough for all of us. Like he's like, "You gotta stop." And then my little nephew, he'll sit there and he'll be like yelling his name the whole time. And he'll be like, "Run, run." And it's just hilarious because he's got this whole little cheering squad going on. But I don't know.
Well, I like it. The kids sometimes like it. Some of the other kids might not like it, but
he gets embarrassed. Like, I can't help it. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? You just want me to sit here and be a stick in the mud like everybody else? It ain't happening.
No, you yell for that boy.
We live stream the games. I don't know what the rules are about that. I thought about, live streaming the game so that we could all watch it together and stuff while I'm there. But I don't know what the rules are about like showing the other players and stuff like that. So probably not able to actually do that. But he said that he thinks the games might be getting filmed this year.
Wow.
So if they are getting filmed and it's already going out and broadcasting live somewhere, I feel less guilt about that. I have to wait and see. He told me that there's going to be permission slips and stuff like that coming home. So I want to look and see if one of the permission slips is about like, social media and stuff like that, utilizing their pictures and blah, blah, blah. You know how they always have to sign those like waivers.
Yeah.
So, and if it is, then we're watching the games together. Y'all can cheer with me, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, sorry, I got like way off topic there. Like squirrel.
Well, I would say I do. Oh my gosh, I got a picture of a squirrel for you. So my bird feeder, we have with the camera, which is an
Mhm.
excellent camera. I don't know why they don't make security cameras like this bird feeder camera, but there's these squirrels that just go in there and they eat all the food up. Well, I don't know. I got one of them. It looks like he's praying. Another one's like hanging on with one leg and trying to eat. And then they'll get really close to the camera. They don't realize they're there, and their eyes are huge. But the
Mhm.
squirrels are so funny. We got about 10 of them now that let's just go eat up all the food.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the squirrel photo, but
I have a story about a squirrel, but it has nothing to do with actual squirrels. So we had this guy whenever I was an overnight manager at Walmart. I used to sleep all the time, and I was a single mom back then, whenever my son was like 2 or 3 years old. So I lived on this hillside, and my yard was like straight up and down. Basically, I had like a little flat portion and then a straight up and down yard. And I would be like exhausted, after working overnight 6 days a week, 5-6 days a week, how management has to do. And freaking, I'd be exhausted out there, like cutting my grass and stuff like that. So I would always wait until like the last possible minute to cut it, like until it was embarrassingly high, because like I did not want to do it all the time. Anyways, one of my neighbors, the one day I woke up because I heard a lawnmower, and one of my neighbors was cutting my grass, and I was like, do I even go out there or say anything? Like, I was just like, I don't want to say anything and like scare him away. Like, let him just finish my grass first or whatever. You know what I mean? They all knew that I worked overnight, but I popped my head out and I was like, thanks or whatever. And he did it every week then for like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months. He just kept coming and showing up and cutting my grass. And I was like, this is amazing. Never once paid the guy. He was married and had kids. Like, I knew he wasn't like trying to like get with me or anything like that. And it was just whatever. Well, one day I woke up to a note on my door, and it was like, hi, this is so-and-so. I've been cutting your grass. I noticed that you have a squirrel on the outside of your shed. Like, I had this little squirrel chasing a nut or whatever. And it was like, I had it glued to the side of my shed. Basically, it was just like a cute little decoration. He's like, I was wondering if I could have your squirrel. And I'm like, what? Like, I was laughing so hard whenever I read the note. I was like, so like 3 months of grass cutting because you wanted my plastic yard ornament thing? Like, yes, you can have my squirrel. Like, I took it and put it on his porch, but it was just the most random thing. Like, why do you want my squirrel? Like, I don't know, whatever.
I guess he felt like he had to work for it.
He definitely went way above and beyond the cost of it, that's for sure. But it was pretty funny. I moved not too long after that and met my husband, and the rest is history. But it was hilarious. So,
well, back to the beginning.
we talked about the squirrels.
Like, back to the beginning. I don't think none of us need to forget this. It's going to be swept under the rug, and people are going to defend him, and people are going to come out with videos defending him. And
you know what, though? I haven't seen anybody full blown defend him yet. I have seen people complain about the predator hunter guy and some of the language that he chose to use and the way that they went about it. I've seen people complain about the fact that law enforcement wasn't previously involved and blah, blah, blah. I've seen people complain about the fact that the videos that were covering it were monetized because, we have the monetization police here on YouTube. I've seen all of that, but I haven't seen anybody say like what they did to Arctic was wrong. And I thank God for that. At least nobody is saying like, oh, well, he was framed or something stupid like that. Like, dude is licking armpits.
Oh
Like,
my
let's
gosh, I
not
keep
try to
talking
defend
about that.
him.
I seriously gag every time you say that.
I can't help it though. Like, that is the most foul thing that came out
That
of
is
all of that. Like that was so gross.
that
Why
is
do you want to lick armpits? Why are we talking about the types of deodorant that taste better whenever we're licking armpits? Like, that's not, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I seriously gag. It's just there's there's something that just makes that thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's just like every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, that's just so gross to me. I didn't even know that was a thing. But
I
anyway,
may
I don't want
drink
to
it.
get into
Look,
things. I
I
don't want
lost
to get
people,
into things.
right? I don't know. Like, it is very disgusting. But I have faith that the people that are currently here that no, well, they can't unsubscribe. That's the thing. Nobody can unsubscribe because he took his channel down. So he can't lose all the subscribers. So it's like one of those things where you just kind of have to recognize whenever he activates his channel again, who he comes back as, because he will be back. I don't think that there is a snowball's chance that he does not come back. He will be back. It's just a matter of who. Who will he be?
Well, then he could use other names, which
Right?
I found a couple. Not going to
Yep.
throw it out there because I don't want to be in trouble. But
Right.
yeah, it's interesting though.
So, yep.
Yeah,
Change names
exactly,
like Joe did.
Angel.
Yep. Sarah Hart was on Twitter, aka X, whenever all that was going on, kind of watching the chaos. She caused a lot of chaos over there on Twitter too. Same thing.
Is she even around though? I mean, I don't even think.
You know what though? I'm sure she's in the community. Like, I'm sure she's floating somewhere. You know what I mean? Probably
Yeah.
just whatever. But I have not heard somebody who talks with her pattern of voice yet, because like I kind of pick up on newer channels that come around and just listen a few times. There's been a couple people that sounded similar to her, but then they cammed up and I was like, oh, okay, so it's definitely not her. So that's why it's like, I feel like during every live stream, I'm going to turn on my camera, you know what I mean, for at least a little bit. Because I think it's important that people know who is talking and who it is, and that they're a real person and that they're not, whatever. There's so many people that come on here with avatars and you have no clue who you're actually talking to. No clue. There's a few that I can think of right now that nobody on this platform knows who they are, and they're pretending to be some super hotty toddy person. And it's like, what kind of background do they potentially actually have? Like, how many criminals have been exposed now in our community? How many people have been found out? I mean, we got freaking Dolly lives with a registered sex offender. You've got freaking all the crimes and stuff like that. And I'm not even going to name all kinds of people because I'm not going to call everybody out, because I do know some people change. But it really makes you stop and question, what is the reason for your secrecy? I think most of you guys know who I am at this point. Most of you guys were around whenever I was doxxed, but what is the reasoning behind why you don't want anybody to know who you are? Who are you actually?
It depends on who you're talking about. I think some people just want to, because they're scared to death that someone's going to do the same thing to them as what happened to you.
Right. And
as
there
I'm
is a reason to
talking
be
with my
afraid. I mean, there's
avatar.
crazy people out there. There's crazy people out there between CPS investigations and people getting called on, like getting, what's it called, swatted and stuff like that. I get
Oh
that.
yeah.
I get that fear of not wanting people to be able to contact your employer or whatever. But at the same time, like, whenever you're choosing to come on here as a content creator, and I didn't always
that
feel
part,
this
that
way,
one.
but you were opening yourself up to that type of thing. But whenever you're coming on here as an advocate or for somebody who is, looking out for victims and all of those things, shouldn't you be open with who you are so that we know that you're not a predator?
Oh, most definitely.
Because
definitely.
look who Arctic actually is. You get what I'm saying? Like, he is actually a predator, a wolf in sheep's clothing. How do we know that the other people who won't cam up, who won't say who they are, how do we know that they're not predators on here with a voice changer? How do we know that they're not monsters behind the scenes? And it's just something I know. And that's just something that kind of like I was thinking about after you said, about talking about people, about getting the predators off of YouTube and stuff like that, and these criminals and stuff. I could care less if you sold drugs. And I hate to say that, but like, it's just such a common thing to get in trouble for. But do you have crimes against children in your past? Do you have crimes against elderly in your past? Do you have crimes against do you have abuse or physical assaults or, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain stuff. Do you have RSO crimes in your past? Like, what are you afraid of people finding out about you?
Well, there's so many of them there's so many felonious YouTubers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a ton of them. I didn't think so in the beginning. And then as time has kind of floated by and then so many more are coming out. And you know what? All we've had to do is just sit back and watch. It's just, it's crazy. There's one guy, I don't want to name YouTubers either because I don't want to be.
Yeah, I don't want to start like a whole drama thing, but
Yeah,
it's just something that I was thinking about the other day. Like, if you're going to be on the right side of things and you want to call people out and you want to have these like community conversations and things like that, people should know who they're talking to about that. Victims' families should know who they're talking to. Like, they should be aware of who you are and what your motivations are behind the conversations that you're having with them. There shouldn't be a secret behind that. It's one thing to be a chatter and using a different name. It's one thing to be a person who is just sharing flyers and to want your privacy and to have your secrecy and things like that. But to come on here and have a platform and things like that, and I'm not talking about just like drama channels, right? I'm not talking about the channels that just want to come on here and BS and just whatever. You guys want to keep your identities a secret and people are just coming in your chat and you guys are just talking and slandering each other and starting to fight about this one and that one and whatever, do you. You want to just be a video gamer and have your privacy, whatever, do you. You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the people that are coming on here to advocate for victims, to advocate for people who, can't advocate for themselves and are coming out here and they're talking to people's families. They're getting information, personal information about missing people. They're getting personal information about these cases. Those families should know who you are.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to say, like Dylan's Rounds case, Candace Cooley knew who I was, my full first and last name, my phone number. She knew all of that information before I ever even pulled her on this platform. Did all of you guys? No. And I probably should have been a little bit more upfront about who I was before I was doxxed. But I have nothing in my past. You can run whatever type of background check you want on me. That's it. Like, there's nothing. I got some tickets, speeding tickets. I have a lead foot. But the victims should be able to know who you are and who you're talking to. I still talk to Ariel Sellers' family. Actually, her aunt messaged me the other day. Her aunt messaged me. Can you guys hear the rain? She messaged me the other day, and she told me that she finally was able to adopt Big Sis. So Big Sis's adoption has completely gone through.
Well, I was going to tell on another note, you're talking about background checks and everything. if anyone ever did one on me, they would be so confused with all the names. Just putting that out there, they would be confused, because I kind of like been there, done that a few times.
You better
So-
you better hope they don't pass that save X seal because
The
you're going to
what?
have trouble getting to vote. They're not going to be able to figure out who you are. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, I don't know. That's just because something I was thinking about the other day. Like, I mean, if you don't want to be open and honest with who you are, then you probably should not be talking directly to families. That's what I was thinking. So,
That's true.
can you guys hear the rain?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good because it's getting louder by the minute. So, but
Well,
anyways,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I'm probably going to go ahead and end it because my phone's down to 32% now. And I don't want to lose it completely before it ends. It did pretty good though running StreamYard. So now I know at least if I come in here with 90, it'll be for an hour stream, probably about 50-60%. I'm wondering if we added more people to the panel, how much that would affect it.
Would it really though? I don't even know how that kind of thing works, honestly though.
I have no clue. Right now I'm streaming to YouTube and Kick. I was going to stream to Twitch also, like I normally do, like all three of them. Well, Kick is new. Usually I do YouTube and Twitch.
Twit? Did you say Twitch?
Twitch.
Oh.
Twitch. TWITCH. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll try to do this more often. I don't know what time practice is tomorrow. I don't know if it's 3 to 5 or if it's 7 to 9. I think it's 3 to 5. So look for me between 3 and 5 sometime. I should jump on and do another live while we're sitting here, hopefully.
Well, you should.
So, yeah, I should. The only thing is I won't be able to like screen share. I can't share information. So all of these vehicle lives are going to be kind of just chit chatty in a way. So we'll see what happens. But
Well, I've
appreciate you for coming up to chat.
Hey, thank you for letting me. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Let's see how to get out of here.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.